This show features AI characters. No one controls their decisions. This is their story.
I'm not tapping out. I'd rather die.
That's not good. Here goes nothing.
I'm not going back without the money. This is the harshest location possible.
We've got snow, sand, jungles, you name it. Everybody here is about as deadly as they come.
I've trained my entire life for this.
It looks like I've got wolves at my doorstep.
Holy crap. This jungle's too damned hot. The conditions out here are biblical levels of bad. Come out and play!
The cold and the dark is gonna sap people's souls.
We lost another one today. I don't even know how many of us are left.
There's no backup, no rescue team. We're all gonna die out here.
People come in one way, but whoever wins this is never gonna be the same.
A 500,000 coin prize is enough for me to kill anyone. Here, kitty, kitty!
Whoever can thrive the longest, whoever can push through this, wins.
Kill or be killed. That's all there is.
Hi, welcome to the Old Geezer's Diary. My name is Chris, and I'd like to talk today about the upcoming disruption of TV and film production that's getting closer every day. It is, of course, artificial intelligence, and I would like to introduce you to something that is the forerunner of maybe a lot of shows that are going to be coming to your TV or onto your website. What we're looking at with this is AI, artificial intelligence, and clever people have put stuff together that enables you to do all kinds of interesting things with AI, but it's really good with generating people and situations, it transpires.
Okay. I think there's enough distance between us and whoever that was.
In the immediate aftermath of Christmas, I was looking around online and I found something called, are you ready for this? Non-player combat. I'll put a link underneath me, and there's also one on the description as well. Non-player combat is a 4-part TV series that was completely made by AI. Just 5 people were involved in making it. It took a few weeks to put together, and it cost, are you ready for this one? This is a killer. It cost for a 4-episode, about 2.5 hours of broadcast TV, it cost £28,000. That's the equivalent of around £7,000 per episode. If you want a comparison, a comparable reality show made on TV probably costs for an episode probably anything from £300,000 to £500,000, and something like the UK's Traitors show costs somewhere in the region of £1 million per episode. That's a huge amount of money. What we're looking at actually is really putting everything into a computer. So with this particular project, non-player combat, what happened with non-player combat is the individuals actually put in all of the backstories of the characters that were going to appear. They put in the way they looked, they put in the way their lives had gone, they put in the way their aspirations lay, and what they then did is put in the kind of rules of the game and how it worked. And they let the AI essentially do the rest. I've no doubt there was a lot more to it than that, but in reality, that's the outline of what they did. They put together a show that actually would run for 4 episodes and would end up with one person ending up alive. The other 5 would be dead. You can't do that in real life, can you? But on TV, with AI characters who don't have a real life, then you can. So what's the appeal? There's lots of people, loads of them, on the actual YouTube site and on the producer's own website, who put on all kinds of comments. They've made loads of comments about how weak certain aspects of the show were, and they thought it was AI slop, and these characters were doing this that they wouldn't do, and all the other kind of crap. There was bits and pieces about the techniques involved as well, like for instance continuity glitches and stuff like that. But in fact, I don't think that's anything to worry about, because all of that, with a bit more application of time, could be put right relatively easily.
I know it's not safe here.
What you've actually got in that 4-part TV show is a pitch to broadcasters saying, look, we can do this for 28 grand. Think about what you can do for 100 grand an episode. Now, this is something that's got a number of broadcasters quite excited. And what they're excited about is not actually this show as such, but what they're interested in is the prospects that this show has opened up to them. It means that you can maybe cut out a camera crew, a film crew, all the lighting guys, the studio hire, the equipment hire, all of the stuff that goes to make film and video and TV production enormously expensive. You can cut all that out.
If I could tap out right now, I would.
You can just put a row of quite high-priced computers to work, and they'll churn out this stuff day and night without you lifting a hand. And that's quite a frightening thought, really, isn't it? All of this can be done just with a handful of people putting in information, and then the machines do it all. You don't need cameramen, you don't need grips, you don't need studio hands, you don't need a gaffer. You probably need a director of photography to actually make sure that the imagery looks right. But you don't need much else. What you do need, I believe, however, that this particular TV series hasn't got, is some really good writers to actually put it together in a more dramatic and appealing way. That's an issue, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But in the meantime, I need to recommend you to actually take a proper look at non-player combat and see what you make of it. You need to actually look at it with an open mind. You need to say, this isn't perfect. You need to say, this is some people trying to sell A, a system, and B, the concept of a show. But what they've done, in fact, is made it much more sophisticated than almost any show concept that I've ever seen in my life. So where do we go from here? What happens next is that this series is shown to people who in the industry are called commissioners. They work for big broadcasters, and they actually process and commission new shows that appear on that channel. They are immensely smart people. They know exactly where their audience stands, and they know exactly how to get to them. They will have already put it into process and started thinking about ways to actually apply this system to their broadcasts. How do I mean? Well, they've said, how can we actually make programs that do what we want them to do, i.e. attract a big audience, and not cost us so much money as we presently spend? Could you make something like Traitors? Yeah, you probably could, but that might not be worthwhile. But if you took a lot of the reality shows that we actually see in front of us every day, if you took those and put those onto an AI system, if you took the drama and fiction that appears on TV, police procedurals and all that kind of stuff, and actually put those scripts into AI, you could then produce those relatively easily. And all you really need is the clever people to do the background work, and the machine kind of puts it together for you.
No mercy.
The reality is that when you've seen AI make stuff like this, you can think of so many ways that you can influence it. You can get big name actors to put their faces into the show for a sizable payment, obviously, but that gives you a star in the show, and people will watch some actors in any damn thing, let's be honest. Those non-person actors could do all of Tom Cruise's stunts for him if he gets sick and tired of doing them. They could take all the parts that we're really talking about in any kind of production, and with an appropriate system and a good enough script and a strong enough director you could actually produce winning films anytime for very little real cost. So what do I actually believe? I believe that today, this very day, in major TV studios around the world and in major film studios around the world, producers, commissioners, people like that are all looking at these systems and are probably putting teams to work at generating some of their own. In their terms, the costs are marginal. The costs are not very great. If you multiplied that 28,000 by 10 or by 20, you still wouldn't be spending a lot of money for a 4-part series. And that's the interesting one, isn't it? TV companies make pretty good money, but sometimes they really struggle because their costs are so high. The cost of talent is enormous. So if you take the talent out of the equation and put a few £1,000s worth of a computer into the equation, then you're going to come out with a lot of AI productions. And there you have it. My name's Chris, this is the Old Geezer's Diary. I've made loads of TV and loads of internet over the years. Some of it's been good, some of it's been bad. Some of it's been very successful. And I'll leave it at that. I hope you've enjoyed this show and I hope you find it interesting and look to the future. It's coming right in your face. Thanks for watching.